Hey credit warriors, want to know why some people have access to airport lounges, free hotel upgrades, free flights using points, even concierge services that can get them into booked out restaurants or tickets for any show? Well, it's because they have climbed the credit card ladder, and credit cards, when used responsibly, can unlock a world of benefits. Not to mention, they build your credit score so that you don't have to pay a small fortune in deposits when you rent an apartment, get a cell phone plan, or open an account with a utility company. So here's the 2022 update to my very popular How to Climb the Credit Card Ladder video. We are going to take you through tiers 1 to 5, from the most basic credit builder cards to the most exclusive black cards in the world. Tier 1. In Tier 1, we basically have subprime cards and credit builder cards. And my main criteria for these cards in this tier are that they have no annual fee and they earn no rewards whatsoever. So no cashback, no points, etc. Subprime cards are basically credit cards that target people with low credit scores or subprime credit scores. Some issuers that issue these cards include Credit One, First Premier Bank, and basically these cards often come with a lot of hidden fees, or even worse, sometimes they have no grace period so that interest starts being charged on purchases as soon as you make them. Now, some people say that these cards have a purpose, i.e. building your credit when no other issuer will accept you. But to be honest, in 2022, I think there are so many other better options that you shouldn't really need these cards ever. Because there are products like the Olo Platinum card, for example, that specifically target people with lower credit scores with their credit builder card product. Then there are sort of alternative credit card products that don't solely rely on your credit score to approve you for the card, like the Petal card, for example, or the Grow Credit MasterCard. That one offers tiny credit limits, for example, $17 per month, and the idea is that you use it to pay for your Netflix or Hulu or similar subscription each month, and then that on-time payment reports to the credit bureaus, growing your credit. Then you have more traditional options like the Capital One Platinum that will normally approve people with no credit history. But if you've damaged your credit, your only option might be to go for a secured card. Now, Capital One has a version of their card that is secured, the Capital One Secured MasterCard. There's also the Open Sky Secured Visa card, which is another popular one for people to get to build their credit. Typically, these cards will ask for a $200 security deposit in exchange for a credit limit of $200 or more. So what you're basically doing is you're borrowing your own money each month and then paying it back. So the bank doesn't take any risk on you. If you don't pay it back, they just use your security deposit to pay back the card. But as long as you do your payments on time, these kind of cards will build your credit because they report the payments and the credit line to the credit bureaus. Then there's also another new secured card called the Chime Credit Builder Secured Visa that has no minimum security deposit. You simply move however much money you want to spend into the account, and then that becomes your spending limit. And at the end of the month, that money is used to pay back your card. So is it really a credit card at all? I don't know. I mean, they're walking a fine line, but it does report to the credit bureaus and it does grow your credit score. All right, let's move on to the next tier. Tier 2. Tier 2 cards are not just for credit building. There's a lot of basic rewards cards in this tier, and my criteria for these cards are that they have no annual fee, but they do earn some sort of rewards. Most common is cashback, but you do see cards with hotel points and also airline miles in this tier. Cards such as the Hilton Honors Amex or the Marriott Bonvoy Bold card. And for airlines, an example is the Advantage Mile Up card for American Airlines. But like I said, the most common type of reward in this tier is cashback. And there is a type of card in this tier known as the rotating category card. And this includes cards such as the Chase Freedom Flex, the Discover It card, the US Bank Cash Plus card, and the brand new Citi Custom Cash card. These cards give you 5% cash back in rotating quarterly categories, or actually some of them aren't rotating, some of them choose their categories in different ways, but that will generally be limited to either $1,500 or up to $2,000 per quarter that you can spend and get 5% on. The Chase Freedom Flex is a very popular choice in this tier and a favorite of mine, and it's always good to get Chase cards early on in your climbing of the credit card ladder, because if you've opened more than 5 credit cards in the past 24 months, Chase will not approve you typically for any new Chase cards. This is known as the 524 rule. So we normally suggest to try and get Chase cards as early as possible. However, just one note that Chase normally likes to see at least a year of credit history. So if you haven't got a year of credit history through building your credit with cards in tier 1, you could perhaps go for the Discover It card as your first tier 2 card, and then get the Chase Freedom Flex or Chase Freedom Unlimited after that. Then we've also got another category of card, and that is the 2% cashback card. Now the Citi Double Cash used to be the most famous of these cards, but this type of card seems to have been multiplying in the past year or so. So now we've got not only the Citi Double Cash, but also the Wells Fargo Active Cash, the TD Double Up card, and also the SoFi credit card that also pays 2% if you redeem into your SoFi account. All these cards have no annual fee and will also earn 2% unlimited cashback on all your spending. And most of these tier 2 cards will normally have some kind of sign-up bonus valued between $100 and $200, and that's normally for spending between $500 and $1,000 in the first 3 months. Right now, the Chase Freedom Flex has a really great sign-up bonus. It's $200 for spending $500 in the first 3 months, and 5% on gas spending on up to $6,000 in your first year. Guys, if you want to know more about the Freedom Flex, I will put it in a link below so you guys can check it out. Lastly, for cards in this tier, the sort of minimum credit limit you can expect would be $500, but that can go up a lot higher depending on your credit worthiness and your income. As for credit score to get approved for these cards, most of them you're going to need to be in the mid to upper 600s, but for those cards that specifically target people with no credit, like the Discover It card, you could probably apply with really no credit score and no credit history to speak of. And guys, before we move into the next tier where the rewards become really interesting, if you're looking for an easy way to keep track of all your card rewards, your balances, your cashback, everything to do with all your credit cards in one place, I recommend the app Max Rewards. It pools data on all your cards from multiple issuers in one place, your balances, your reward balances. It warns you of upcoming bills. It even has a sign-up bonus tracker, so when your spending bar fills up, you get your bonus. And if you have the gold version of Max Rewards, it'll activate Chase Freedom quarterly categories and also Amex offers for you, so you never miss a deal. You may even spend some money and then get home and get an email saying you saved like $10, $20 without even realizing it. It's awesome. And you guys can get a free month of that with my link below, or you can just download the app, check out the free features, of which there are many. All right, let's move on to the next tier. Tier 3. Okay, so this is where we start to see big welcome bonuses, high rewards multipliers on spending, and a new type of points, transferable points, that really only exist in this tier or above with minimal exceptions. Now, there are 4 main transferable points currencies in the US market: Chase UR points, Amex MR points, Citi Thank You points, and Capital One miles. It used to be that there were really just 3 main transferable points partners, but Capital One has really been stepping up their game over the past few years, and in 2022 they have a load of transfer partners and most of them transfer at 1-to-1. And yes, this tier of card does have annual fees, and in 2022 the range of annual fees is much more broad. It's from about $95 all the way up to around $300. It used to be that tier 3 cards pretty much all just had $95 annual fees. That's not the case anymore. So some of the most famous cards in tier 3 with transferable points include the Chase Sapphire Preferred. Now, if you got the Freedom Flex back in tier 2, you can then transfer your Freedom Flex cashback over to your Chase Sapphire Preferred, where it becomes Chase UR points, and you can then use it to book travel through the portal at a higher valuation, or transfer it out to airlines and hotels to book those amazing business and first class travel rewards. And guys, I'll put the link to the Sapphire Preferred in the description. It's always a favorite card of a lot of people, so feel free to go and check it out. Then we have the Citi Premier, which is Citi's tier 3 transferable points card, and guess what? You can do the same thing with the Citi cards from tier 2, the Custom Cash and the Double Cash. You can transfer that cash back over to the Citi Premier, where it becomes Citi Thank You points, and you can then transfer that out to airlines to book amazing first class, business class awards. And then we have the Capital One Venture, which guess what? You can do the same thing with the Capital One cards from tier 2. You can transfer that cash back over and transfer out to transfer partners and book amazing flight awards too. And then we have the American Express cards in tier 3, such as the Amex Green with a $150 annual fee, Amex Gold with a $250 annual fee, and you can't transfer points, but basically Amex points all pool into one account anyway. It's just that the higher tier Amex card you have, the more higher value redemption options you will have access to. Then in addition to tier 3 cards with transferable points, we also have airline and hotel cards with fees between maybe $95 to $250. So hotel cards will normally give you a hotel free night every year, which will more than offset the annual fee, okay? It's normally in a mid-tier hotel worth around $150 per night. And then airline cards will typically give you things like free checked bags, priority boarding, and perhaps offer you some kind of travel credit. If you're chasing sign-up bonuses, this tier is really where the fun starts, with bonuses worth between $500 up to $750, maybe sometimes $1,000 in value, and that would be typically for spending a few $1,000s in the first 3 months. But for the really big bonuses and benefits, you're gonna have to be in our next tier, tier 4. However, before we end tier 3, just a couple more points. The type of credit score you'll need will be above 700 and a good income, and the type of credit limit you can expect to receive in this tier is normally at least $5,000 or more. All right, let's now move on to our next tier. Tier 4. All right, this is what I call premium travel rewards cards. Most of them revolve around travel with a few exceptions, and this is as high as the average person can expect to reach on the credit card ladder, unless you are targeted for an invite to some invite-only black card that you'll see in our next tier. In tier 4 this year, we have one card that has been discontinued, and we also have one new tier 4 card, which is quite exciting. So the sort of classic tier 4 cards with transferable points are the Chase Sapphire Reserve, the American Express Platinum card, and the Citi Prestige. However, the Citi Prestige has now been discontinued. People who already have the card are grandfathered in, but for new applicants, you cannot apply for it. You also cannot product change to it. However, we do have a new tier 4 card in town in 2022, and that is the Capital One Venture X card. Now, I do sort of call this a tier 4 light. The annual fee is $395, but you do get a $300 travel credit used through Capital One Travel. So that takes the effective annual fee down to just $95. So that makes it one of the cheapest major tier 4 cards. Now, there is one I think that's cheaper. That would be the US Bank Altitude Reserve. The annual fee is $400, but you get a $325 travel credit, taking the effective annual fee down to $75. The Amex Platinum, by contrast, the annual fee has now risen to $695. However, there are a load of credits such as an Uber credit, a digital entertainment credit, travel credit, etc., airline credit that offset the annual fee, and this has led to some people to call the Amex Platinum now a coupon book card. And there's also another interesting card that is hitting the market this year, and that is the Save Wealth card. Now, this offers 6% cashback on all your spending, which is unheard of. It's probably the highest in the US market, but it does have a $750 annual fee. So we see annual fees on tier 4 cards currently ranging from around $395 all the way up to $750. The luxury card, gold card, is actually $995, but really you're just paying for the gold card, okay? And I don't care what Kate Brock says.
Luxury card is the perfect card for me and my busy schedule.
I don't really care for the luxury cards at all. Now, unless you're some sort of speciality card like the Save Wealth Premium card, cards in tier 4 normally will offer lounge access, at least through Priority Pass, but they may offer some additional lounge access as well. For example, the Amex Platinum gives you access to the very popular Amex Centurion lounges, which is a really great perk. Airline branded tier 4 cards will normally offer you access to that airline's lounge. For example, the Delta Reserve gives you access to Delta Sky Clubs, and hotel cards in this tier will normally give you the hotel's higher status. For example, Hilton's tier 4 card, the Hilton Honors Aspire, gives you Hilton Diamond status. In terms of credit limits, what you can expect to receive would normally be a minimum of $10,000 in this tier. Many of these cards are Visa Infinite cards, and Visa Infinite is a minimum of $10,000 credit limit. In terms of the Amex Platinum, that is a charge card, but I've tested my Amex Platinum with the check spending power tool, and Amex has confirmed that a charge of $75,000 would go through on my card. You have to pay it off each month though, so don't get any ideas. The type of credit score you will need will be over 700, maybe even over 720. You need to have a reasonable income for this tier, maybe average or even a little bit above average, but you know, it depends. But most importantly, you also need a few other tier 3 cards with high limits, just to show that you do already have some high limit credit cards on your credit report. Don't think you could get a card in tier 4 as your first card, but these cards are within reach of the average mortal, unlike the cards in our next tier. Tier 5. These are invitation-only black cards, the most famous of which is the Amex Black card, also known as the Centurion card. In case you're curious, guys, this one isn't mine. It was kind of donated to me by a friend who has it to use as a prop with the show, but it is cool to flex it. Now, getting these cards is nothing to do with your credit score. For the Amex Black card, you have to spend a minimum of around $350,000 a year on other Amex cards, and then you may receive an invitation. That is the US version. Other international versions can be a lot easier to get though. A lot of the benefits of the Amex Black card really revolve around a kind of celebrity lifestyle as well. So for example, it gives you access to the private suite. It's a private members only terminal at LAX airport, which is obviously near Hollywood where all the celebrities live. But let's go through some other cards which I also consider to be tier 5. We have the Coutts Silk card in the UK. Now Coutts is the private bank where the Queen of England keeps her money. I also consider the Coutts Silk card to be tier 5. Now getting the card is actually very easy. It's getting into Coutts Bank that is more difficult. You have to have £1 million in investable assets, which is approximately $1.35 million that you can bring to the bank. But once you're into the bank, you can automatically get the Coutts Silk card, and having this card is a blast. It gets you into a load of members only clubs in London, which is really cool. I've got a whole video on this card that you can check out on the channel as well. Then we have the Carrot card for social media creators, and this is the only card in this list that I actually have an account with. Now, this card doesn't have huge spending limits to get in like the Amex Black card does, but it is invitation only, and basically it looks at how many subscribers you have on YouTube or followers on TikTok or Instagram, etc. Here is the CEO of Carrot explaining it.
If you have a couple 100,000 on Instagram, or at least a couple 100,000 on YouTube, or a few million on TikTok.
But once you're in, the Carrot card not only earns you up to 5% in cashback on categories that you choose yourself, but it'll also get you into exclusive events like poker tournaments with other big famous social media stars. I was invited to that, but it was on the West Coast, so I didn't make it. But next time I guess I'll get a private jet and then maybe rent a Lambo and perhaps show up. Now the card is fully customizable, and they will also laser engrave it with your name or logo or social media handle or whatever, and it is heavy. It weighs a full ounce. Listen to this. Ooh, hit the like button for the flex value. Then another card in this tier would be the Dubai First Royale card, which is only available to literally the richest people in the world, like billionaires and Middle Eastern princes. There are probably less than 100 people in the world who have it. Another card I put in this tier, which is actually a debit card, not even a credit card, is the Crypto.com Obsidian card. You have to have a huge amount of crypto invested with them to get this card, but it gives you some amazing rewards. Guys, I have a couple of videos on my channel that go through all of the invitation-only black cards on the market. It's really interesting to see how the 1% or the like 0.1% live. So you can check those out if you want. But really the criteria of this tier of cards is that they are invitation only. There's nothing to do with credit score or whatever. I mean, they normally are available only to high net worth individuals, but as you've seen with some of them, the criteria is different, all right? Some of it's you spend a lot of money, some of it's you have a lot of money, or you have a lot of subscribers, or you have a lot of crypto or whatever. They're all different. Really, the only requirement is that they are invitation only. All right, so that's the entire tier system. To recap all of the tiers really quickly, tier 1, credit builder cards that have no annual fee, earn no rewards, and you can get them with no credit score. Tier 2, basic rewards cards. They mostly earn cashback, have small welcome bonuses of $100 to $200, have no annual fee, and the recommended credit score is 600 and above. New people can often start in either tier 1 or tier 2. Some tier 2 cards like the Discover It card will approve people with no credit score and no credit history, but if you've damaged your credit through missed payments or bankruptcy, you'll definitely need to start in tier 1. Then we have tier 3, which is travel rewards cards. This is where we see big welcome bonuses worth $500 or more, generous point earning on spend, hotel free nights, transferable points in addition to airline miles and hotel points, annual fees worth $95 to $300, and you'll need a credit score over 700. Then we have tier 4, premium travel rewards cards, annual fees from $450 up to $995 or so, welcome bonuses worth around $1,000, airport lounge access as standard, top hotel status, credits to offset the annual fee, and recommended credit score would be over 720. And then we have tier 5 invitation-only black cards, generally for high net worth individuals, but requirements vary card by card. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I will put a link to some of the chase cards that we've mentioned in the description section below. A big thank you to Max Rewards for sponsoring this video. They've been supporting the channel for a long time. Do check out that app. It is really, really useful. Also, leave a comment below. Let me know what tier you are in and what tier you're heading to next. Please subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.